to have you. Thank you, Tank. God bless. All right, Charles. Everyone's checking in, man. Dave. Oh, Dave Struff says I used to work for Charles. I'm his webmaster. Make sure he keeps plugging the website and all the good old audio and pics that are on there.
BigMattress.com.
Very good. BigMattress.com. Your old friend Ty, my old friend Ty, saying listening to you two geeks on the Mofo Radio. Love to you.
Ty.
Both. Absolutely, yeah.
Wait a minute. Speaking of Ty, hold on a second. Ty's. I got a song that's his middle name. He's got his middle name.
Oh, really? Can we play that for everybody?
Let's do it.
I'd love to listen to it.
I don't know how. Let's see how I push this button here.
All right.
Everybody now, what do they say? Light up the smoking lamp?
There it is.
Let's go for it, everybody.
Charles, I hope my dad is listening right now because he's going to blow his mind hearing that song on BCN again.
And you know, that song was the most requested song, and still, to this day, the letters I get and the emails I get are people wanting to know, what was the name of that? How do you get
Charles,
it?
what's the background on it? Who is it, and what is the name of the song, and what is it all
the
about?
The version I played, that's a song called Wichita Toe. It's a, what do you call that? What's that stuff? The mushrooms? Oh, it's peyote.
Peyote.
It's a Native American peyote song, and it was first played. This version here was the original. It was by a group called Everything Is Everything. Chris Hills and Jim Pepper. Jim Pepper went on to do a life. I mean, that became his signature song. He did about 15 versions of it, and there are actually I've got about 15 versions by a lot of other artists.
Which version is that?
That was the first one. Everything Is Everything.
Excellent.
That's the one.
So it's peyote. So maybe not as good to use for matzo ball soup, or is that a good?
No, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna tell.
I'm not gonna tell that story.
Pat was calling me. You got to tell the matzo ball story, the snowball story. Wiping out on your bike in Maui. Everybody is just wants story after story after story.
Yeah.
Mark Mingles, by the way, says hello.
Oh my God,
Charles. Mark Mingles is he's the building supervisor here at WBCN, and he's out today because he went to the 4-day work week after you left because there was 20% less mess to have to worry about. That's what he says. So
I think a lot of it was a food problem. We had a lot of restaurants come in and stuff. This is WBCN. Charles Laquidara, Adam 12, kind enough to let me come in and sit in on the show. And
the pleasure is mine, Charles.
Coming here, I still can't drive in Boston. I still can't do it. I have a GPS. I have 2 GPS systems, but don't tell anybody. I have one that does quickest and one that does shortest.
Okay.
And they conflict with each other sometime. And I ended up at some.
Who knows where? Yeah.
Watch. Keep it up. Keep
That's
it up.
King Lear.
Wait. Thank you, grandfather. I think he says. Way up.
Wait, what's up?
Oh, untimely death. Death. It's from King Lear, a BBC broadcast.
Here, he's coming back. You here to say thank you, grandfather?
That's Paul.
Does anyone
Is
care?
he dead?
Does anyone care about this anymore?
Yes, on my show on Sunday mornings at 8 a.m.
Charles Laquidara is back on the Rock of Boston,
great
104.1 WBCN. Chachi joins us as well. Andy sends in some feedback saying, I wish I could have been there to see the stain in Chachi's pants when you played the Beatles on WBCN.
Stop it.
Lauren in Plymouth, okay, just came back into my office. Someone changed my station from BC. I thought someone changed my station from BCN. Loving this. The segue into from Styx into the Beatles. What could have been better. I'm taking responsibility for that. I was the man on the trigger, I pulled the trigger too.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I want to tell you. I have to teach this man.
Take me to radio school.
Okay, I'm taking you to radio school.
You're learning from a legend.
I know this.
Now, Adam, I want you to hear me. I want you to look me in the eyes.
I'm looking you in the eye right now.
Understand this.
Yes.
You never made the mistake. Whatever it was, they blame themselves. They think that their radio was screwed up, their CD player screwed up.
Okay.
They think that they don't blame the radio station. They blame themselves. Did I just hear that? No, I couldn't.
Yes.
So don't worry about it. When you screw up, you never come back. I remember DJs used to. I won't name any names. They used, one time. Yes, I will. Jim Perry. This is one of the first DJs on BCN. He's playing. He made a segue into a song, and it was great. Everybody turned up the loud, and all of a sudden, he pulls a song off, and he goes, I didn't want to play that. This is what I wanted to play. And he plays some stupid other song, whatever it was. It was like, no, don't just go with the flow.
Hey,
Thank you for the lesson.
Can I tell you a couple things about Charles that people might not know?
Please do, Chachi.
He screen tested for the film role of the Boston Strangler. True or false, Charles Laquidara?
Tony Curtis blew the
I was just going to say I knew that he beat you out. You look better than he does, though.
Another thing, Peter Wolf, left BCN to go pursue with his new band, the Jay Giles Band.
Yes. I
remember
Charles
that
took
band,
his
yeah.
place.
That's what opened up the late night, which if you were listening to the promos this past week, that has a great moment when you had Al Pacino on the air in the middle of the night.
right.
You made him sing on BCN.
Here's another one. Charles left BCN to pursue a TV career.
That was not true. I left BCN because I had a cocaine habit, and the radio station was getting in my way, actually. And finally, luckily, I met my soon to be whatever. I met my wife.
Your wife.
And
Yes.
yeah.
In rehab?
No. She was working at a station, and we got together and got pregnant and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? I guess it's got to be now. I've got to quit. So
Charles, kudos from you.
So I am clean. Just everybody, clean as a whistle.
Clean as a whistle. And
for 500 years now.
Making the news guy smile. David Wade, who was on WBZ down the street, he checks in, says, you just made my 2-year-old's day by playing Mr. Roboto. It's her favorite. Hope you're well.
Is that a compliment?
Sam Copper. Hey, Charles, is sounding great right now.
Oh, don't forget.
In 2008, better than late 68 when I hired you. Just
Yeah.
you know what? Let's do, Charles. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll take another couple of calls, maybe.
Yeah, I just want to look up one thing here for
We have a little luncheon plan for Charles.
Yes.
We want to thank our friends at Morton's
Please do. I thanked them at the
Steakhouse.
beginning. We need to thank them again.
Yeah, and then Charles tells me, well, I don't really eat meat.
I will. I'll eat meat
Okay,
today.
you better,
Morton's is
'cause
great.
the
Morton's
You
is
better.
great
That's how you're
meat.
getting
Great.
paid. But right now, what's important is that you're on 104.1 WBCN, where you were for many years as the host of the Big Mattress Morning Show, the first rock and roll morning show in the history of rock and roll morning shows. And we'll be back with more from Charles Laquidara next on The Rock.